It is the Riot Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, rate, and review. We want to read reviews on the show.
We do. Make sure you say some nice comments and say, wow, what a long podcast. I know some people appreciate longer podcasts. Some people like less podcasts, and some people like in between. So it's good to have some longer ones every so often.
Yeah, I will listen no matter the podcast I subscribe to. I will listen no matter what, but I always appreciate when I see a shorter one because there's so many podcasts to listen to. So I'm glad when I see a shorter one.
It's hard to catch up on all of them.
But yeah, we want to review us, boost us up the rankings, and then we'll read your review on the show, whether it's nice or not, as long as it's appropriate.
It'll make its way on there. And of course, text and say hi at 877-2-RADIO-U, or if you find us at RadioU Riot on Facebook, best place to message us there too, and then send us anything if you want us to include it in the podcast.
So today we talk about some TikTok trends, a TikTok trend, and it leads to some...
I'm dying to try it, but I don't want to die trying it. But I don't think this one's pretty scary. I think this one's doable.
It seems like one of the more harmless trends, but then again, maybe it's not. So we talk about the TikTok trend and then how to fast forward TikToks.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I just feel that Nikki was, I feel like you left feeling very down.
Well, you said two hurtful things.
But they were jokes, though.
Okay, well, every part of a joke still starts with something. And jokes hurt. You're just like, hey, say a mean thing. Ha, ha, ha. Like, no, it still hurts. It's hurtful. So you guys listened to hear how Hudson lashed out and said some mean things. And then what do you think I should do?
Sometimes the joke is that it's so ridiculous that it could never be true.
No, it's true. My nose could be big. No, you guys don't know.
But it's so ridiculous that even if your nose was big, I would ever actually say that to you.
Yeah, I think I'm hearing what you're saying, and I don't think it works. Actually, the one thing I thought, I have my nose pierced, and I remember when I got my nose pierced, I was like, does that make my nose look bigger or smaller? I was really worried about that because I still want to get my other nostril pierced. Yeah. And so I was like, wait, what will this do to my nose? I'm not sure.
Well, either way, don't put garlic up it.
Okay.
And that's the TikTok trend. Then we also have, let's see, why you might get hit with a mallet. That's a possibility if you're in certain parts of the world. We have new coffee today.
Oh, it's so good.
Yep,
I keep saying it like it's going away.
Yeah.
It's not going away anytime soon. Wait till you hear how many pounds of it we have.
So much coffee. We talk about the new Nintendo Switch and the new menu refresh at Subway.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts on that. And again, nice comments or unnice comments on any of our topics. You're welcome to text 877-2-RADIO-U. We really do love to hear from you.
Thanks for stopping by.
Have a good day.
You almost missed hearing this one. We just couldn't let that happen. The worst of the riot. RadioU.
Disneyland Paris making a change where they are doing away with one of the, I feel, very popular things about the Disney parks is the Fast Pass.
Yes.
Where if you want to go on a ride, but the line is really long, you get the Fast Pass and it tells you come back in 45 minutes.
And then you can fast pass your way to the front.
Right. You jump right into the front of the line, and that other 45 minutes you can use, instead of just standing in line, you can use it to go eat or whatever you want to do. So at Disneyland Paris, they are doing away with the Fast Pass, and they are now going to be charging people what they're calling Premier Access, which is essentially the same thing, where you can charge between 8 to 15, this is euros, per ride.
I was like, wow, that's not too bad. Thanks, Disney.
Yeah, you don't think that's too bad?
No, just teasing.
8 to 15 per ride, where you will be able to jump to the front of the line and just head right on.
But it still reserves a time, so it's basically still fast passing, isn't it?
Right. It's really the same thing. It's just now you have to pay for it, as if you aren't paying enough to go to Disneyland already.
I know that's the worst. And you swear you'll never buy a fast pass. But then when you see the line, sometimes you're like, oh, okay, it's not bad. I'll pay whatever.
And I don't know what it would be like at Disneyland, but when you go in Paris, but if you go to Disney World, usually it's so hot and humid. So the last thing you want to do is just stand completely still in the baking sun.
But that's all Disney
to wait to go on. Yeah. So at least you want to be walking around in the baking sun.
I know, you got to get moving.
And instead of just standing there waiting like a cow in a whatever it's called.
A
corral.
A corral.
Yeah, right.
Well, I feel like Disneyland Paris must not get anywhere near the numbers that World and Land get.
Yeah, you think?
I wonder how many actually go there.
I don't know. I don't know what the situation is. Maybe they're feeling like the fast pass is not worth it because it's not so crowded. Mm-hmm. But then why would somebody pay to go to the front of the line?
Not sure.
But I just picture, because they're charging this, now this is going to be like I know this is not actually true, but in my mind, the people that can afford to pay the $8 to $15, you're just going to see these rich folks with top hats at like Mr. Peanut walking up to the front of the line.
Because they can pay the $10 or $18.
Excuse me. Yeah, you common people. Yeah.
I'm here. I paid.
Jeeves, take me to the front of the line, please.
Oh, you're wrong.
Purchase me a Premier Access.
They would have had an employee stand in line for them.
That's right.
For the entire time. They wouldn't even spend the money on fast pass
stuff. The other employee fanning them while if they do have to wait for a moment. Yeah, this is, I don't know. I don't like this. Anything where Disney is charging you more, I guess you just have to expect it. But man, it's not like they're not making enough money. So I guess anything they can charge you for, they will try.
They will.
So more power to them.
Next will be the bathroom pass.
That's right.
That you have to pay for. So this is Disneyland Paris. It's not Disneyland or Disney World, but it doesn't mean that won't eventually move there. So normally Fast Pass would be a free service to get you a slot in time, and now you have to pay for the slots.
Yeah, and there's, it's just one of those things too where in your mind, maybe in Europe, in Paris, the culture is a little different where they would let this slide. I do feel in many situations in the United States, if you tried to pull this off, there would be a revolt. But then again, with Disney, they already charge so much, and we kind of just like, you can do what you want, Disney. It's our privilege.
We didn't know we'd miss you so much.
Yeah, it's our... It's really our fault for not being rich enough to be able to afford it. So you charge what you want, Disney. This is worth every penny.
I don't want to stand in line, so we're willing to spend $10 or $20 more just to reserve a spot.
Well, hopefully this doesn't make its way to the U.S.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, Internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
Nintendo, of course, a couple weeks back, they had their E3 presentation, and they announced all this kind of stuff, all the new games, a bunch of stuff with Zelda that people were getting excited about. But suspiciously absent was any kind of announcement about a new upgrade to the Switch. And there was a lot of rumors that was coming. People were hyped up about it, and then nothing came of it.
Everybody expected there to be talk about it. And then the rumor side was saying, well, no, Nintendo really wanted to give the games their moment because everything had been kind of changed this whole past year or so. And they wanted the Switch to have its time on its own.
Yep.
And now it has it.
Now it has it. Fast forward to last night, yesterday, where Nintendo announced the Switch OLED model.
The OLED.
Yes, where they are going to put out a new Switch that it has a few modest upgrades, is how it's kind of been presented. And so not a lot of fanfare around this one. I mean, the headlines are everywhere, but it seems, compared to what people were hoping for a few weeks back, it seems like a little bit of a letdown.
Basically, it's just a way nicer screen.
Yeah, it's a nicer screen, and all of the majority of the upgrades seem to be with the idea of making it run better when you're using it portably.
Yeah, they said that the model improves the way the games appear on the Switch itself.
Yep.
So if you're not like docking it and watching it on your TV.
Right.
It'll be the actual Switch itself, and then it'll help with audio as well when it's portable.
Yes, and it also has a 64 gig memory storage upgrade and LAN port, and that's it. That's what you get. So it really feels like the type of thing that if you already have a Switch,
oh no, I want one.
You do?
I do.
Why? What's the difference?
I don't know. It's
just get the older one.
I have the older one.
Get
I want
another
the newer
older one.
No,
this is the same.
It's not. It's
my gosh.
sleek, and then it's got the. I want
it's
the white one.
It's the same as the old one. The old one was sleek.
Listen, you're not supporting me.
Just to be clear, I'm saying the old, not the OLED one.
No, I think this one. I might just do this one.
Man, you just the trailer won you over, huh?
Listen, I have the original Switch, which is funny because it's the only one. I have the original one. I need something new.
But if you just wait a little longer, they'll come up with a better one than this because this one's not that much different.
Honestly, I feel like with bots and a lack of like however many they're going to be able to sell, I don't feel like I'll get one anyways. I don't feel like most of us will, but I don't mind trying.
That's a good point. You're even as much as you might want to upgrade, this will be too difficult to get your hands on it.
So it's going to be out. Is it? I think October 8th, I believe.
Yeah, it's still a while away even. So what are we even worried about it for? I'm not. I do feel for the people that. They were hoping, the idea was they'll do a 4K Switch. Mm-hmm. And I feel for the people that wanted that are now disappointed because when you see Mario, you want to see every single freckle on his little cheeks and you want to see him in 4K resolution.
Well, this is good enough for me.
This is good enough for you. Nikki's happy with OLED. Nikki is happy with an OLED Mario. The rest of us want a 4K Mario.
So it's going to be on sale October 8th for $350.
There you go. It's coming.
Something to listen to when you meant to work out but tripped into a box of donuts. This is RadioU's Worst of the Riot.
Cicadas are going to wreak their havoc once more before the summer is over.
Do they reappear or what happens?
Well, here's what happens, Nikki. When a mommy cicada and a daddy cicada love each other very much, the cicada gets pregnant.
Okay.
The mommy cicada with eggs. Yeah.
So a baby cicada?
And those eggs got to go somewhere safe. And for the cicadas, that's in the trees. Right? That's why they're always hanging out in the trees.
Why?
So
why is it in the trees?
If you go out to your trees that you can see, like that are low enough for you to see the branches.
Yeah.
If you look, you may see on the underside mostly of the branches, there'll be all these little like spaced out little like scratches in the branches.
Oh gosh, is that the babies?
That is where the mother cicadas have been depositing their eggs into the branches.
Into the branches.
Yeah. So what you also might see is, because I've definitely noticed this, all kinds of like it looks. It's not just the leaves, but you'll notice the brown leaves of the trees are either like in the trees at the end of branches or they've actually fallen out where the ends of branches have fallen off. That is caused by those cicadas sticking their eggs in the branches.
They're saying like in some areas you'll see trees that are changing color already.
Right.
But it's not fall. Like it's not, you're not done with summer yet.
And you won't see, it won't be the entire tree where everything's changing color. It'll just be certain branches, the ends of the branches will be all discolored.
Oh, that's nasty.
And that's because they're dying off. Those branches are dying off because they've got enough eggs in there. And the eggs are kind of taking up the space, and the branches have been compromised. So they're going to fall off. The eggs are going to hatch. And it's really going to pick up in a couple weeks here where the eggs are going to be hatching and the eggs and the branches are going to be falling out.
And you could be underneath it.
You could. I don't know. It makes it sound like it's going to be this extreme thing where it's like just branches are constantly falling. I don't think it's like that.
Well, I don't want to find out if it is or not.
No, but
they say you should not stand underneath trees, between late July and early August, because then the stuff could just fall into your hair.
You just never know. Yeah. Oh, you don't want cicada eggs in your hair, do you? The little larva? Is that what you want?
No.
The cicada larva?
Because that'd be the one one day we were like, I have a slight scratch on my head. and then
they start crawling inside. 17 years later.
Your mommy cicada.
Yeah, that's right.
And you just didn't know
You're just buzzing at it. You hear all the buzzing coming out of your mouth.
Oh,
and you're like, oh no, the time has come.
Oh, they say it's called flagging, which is the color changing thing. And I'm not. I don't want to go outside anyways, but I don't want to go outside now near the trees.
I didn't realize that it was so, like, there's so many steps to it.
Yeah.
That we never thought about. We just, it used to just be, you think cicadas come out, they make a lot of noise and that's it. But there's so much more that goes in. The cicadas are so much more than just the buzzing.
Gosh,
cicadas are so much more than just a 17-year
why don't they just
reappearance.
go away? Like, just die.
All of the fully formed adults have died. They've just left behind their offspring to take over their mantle.
They can go away too. I don't need them. But
they will for 17 years.
They say that it's not even trees that are deep in the forest. So you're like, oh, it's no need to worry. Like,
right.
I'm not near a park or something because those are so far away. Those are less likely to be chosen to host.
Yeah.
The baby party.
And I've noticed that, it'll just be like your kind of random trees sitting out. And in my yard, I have a bunch of
you got a
like
lot?
smaller trees and stuff like that aren't the full size ones and that haven't been around for the last round of cicadas. But now you see in all the little thin branches, you can see all the tick
scratches.
marks.
The equivalent of someone's lint collection. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Subway is getting an Eat Fresh refresh coming up in a few days. And so if you do stop by your Subway on July 12th and they're closed, it's because they're changing everything.
So it's about half of its location, so it's not all of them. And they're supposed to close on Monday at 6 o'clock. And then the next day is when they're supposed to reopen and be revamped.
Yes, they've got a big new menu that they are kind of doing a bunch of stuff with where they're going to change up their bacon, steak, rotisserie chicken, and roast beef. And they're also adding some new topping options like mashed or smashed avocado.
Oh, I thought you were going to say mashed potatoes.
Ooh,
I thought,
now.
oh my gosh, how innovative.
On a Subway sandwich.
Yes.
That'd really be something.
I'll take potatoes.
Well, they're doing smashed avocado and fresh mozzarella. And they've also got 2 new types of bread. The artisan Italian and hearty multi-grain.
I was joking with Hudson earlier when we were putting this on the schedule. I was like, but is it going to fix the bad attitudes of everybody working there?
Listen, Nikki, those are sandwich artists.
Working anywhere.
They're sandwich artists. And if you give a sandwich artist insufficient materials, there's only so much art they can create.
I know, and I know, it is still, it's every place that has a problem.
Yep.
But the last time I went there, man, the problem with the person making the sandwich and the person before me was bad energy everywhere.
Well,
it was bad sandwiches.
There is a lot of bad energy at Subway. Yes. And it's hard to tell where it exactly stems from, but
if they think it's the ingredients, then I guess that's what they're going to work on.
The ingredients are it's all a problem. It's all a big problem. But I also think when you pay minimum wage people, you get minimum wage workers. You know what I mean?
I gotcha.
What do you expect from the Subway workers? So I don't feel that you're going to walk into Subway on July 13th and it's going to be a whole new experience, and all of a sudden you're going to fall
in love with it again.
Back in love with Subway. If you liked it before, I'm sure you're probably going to hate it because they're taking away the things you love. And if you didn't like it before, I doubt you'll I don't think Subway's going to change enough to where it's going to win us over.
So for Subway, they've been going downhill numbers wise for so many years.
If you look at the restaurants with the most locations in the U.S., Subway is way up there, though. There's a million Subways.
I'm not sure if it's now, though, because they closed more locations than any other large U.S. chain.
Well, there was too many.
Last year because of the pandemic. So they were really, really hit. It was they ended with 1,500 fewer stores. Mm-hmm. So this revamp, they hope, will bring people back in.
Yeah.
So again, for Subway, it's July 12th. So on Monday, they're closing at 6 to clean everything up and revamp it. So then on the 13th, if you come between 10 a.m. and noon local time at Subway on the 13th, so next Tuesday, you can request a free 6-inch turkey Cali Fresh sub.
Oh, wow.
Which is what they're promoting. And Subway says they'll give up to 1 million of those subs for
that's
free.
Nice. Subway for breakfast. How about that?
So 10 a.m. till noon. It has to be your local time and expect to be turned away.
This is RadioU's Worst of the Riot.
Peacock, finally a win for the little guy.
Peacock Network.
They feel like the little guy. They're just out there. Even Paramount Plus feels more significant than Peacock, doesn't it?
No, that's because it was CBS All Access. Like that had a built-in, somewhat smaller, but still there subscriber base.
Yep.
But I feel like Peacock was like, hey, what? And then that's the only one we ever signed up for, and I canceled that same day because like I just looked real quick and I was like, well, there's nothing I want that would have been in the free service.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked back since.
I've watched the free version of Peacock where they have, and I'll tell you the one thing I've watched on Peacock, and you're gonna hate me for it.
Is it The Office or?
No, because you have to pay to watch The Office.
Oh, that's on the free one?
I think you get the first season for free, and the first season's only 6 episodes. And I have The Office. I own The Office, so it's fine.
You own them.
Peacock, I watched The Munsters.
The Monsters?
The old black and white TV show.
Yeah.
It's like the Addams Family, but it's better. It's actually good. And it's black and white. It was from like early 60s, I think. So like when WandaVision came out.
1964.
Yeah, there you go. The year my parents were born, I think. Even my parents are like, we didn't watch The Munsters. We weren't alive yet. But I like The Munsters. No, it's a good show. It was ahead of its time. And now I know they're talking about bringing that back as a movie.
You'll be the one to know anything about it.
I don't know. It's Rob Zombie that's bringing it back. And the show is so lighthearted and whatever. And I just feel that Rob Zombie maybe not going to capture that as much. So I don't know if that'll be.
That might not be as bright as you want it to be.
No, but either way, that's what I've watched on Peacock. I don't know if I'm a very good test audience.
Dude, that's why streaming stuff is so weird. We're watching the weirdest stuff, and none of it makes sense, and none of it is trackable for like what they're trying to push at us.
No, Peacock was not support they weren't pushing the Munsters on me.
You just watched it.
I just wanted to watch the Munsters. And it was partly because, remember when WandaVision came out in those first couple episodes where they were black and white and they're kind of making fun of shows or a send up to shows like the Munsters from that time, the old like really corny sitcoms.
That got you interested?
Yeah, and so I was like, I'm ready for some of this in my life.
Well, Billy said Peacock for The Office up to the 5th season now, Hudson.
Oh, okay.
You can watch for free with ads.
I've seen so much of The Office so many times over. Matter. It's fine.
Well, why watch The Office when you can watch The Munsters?
That's right. I've only seen. I still haven't seen all of the Munsters, so I got to catch up.
Keep working on it.
It's on my list to finish. Anyways, we've gone on long enough without even bringing up the real reason the Peacock is in the news is because they've agreed to a deal with Universal, which also includes DreamWorks, Illumination, and Focus Films, where now they will get exclusive rights to all those movies when they come out starting next year.
They get the movies then.
No less than 4 months after they come out in theaters. So, for example, if Fast 9 were to come out next year at this time, Peacock would get that 4 months after it released in theaters. However, they get it for 4 months, and then it goes to another streaming service for a while, for another 10 weeks or 10 months or something like that, and then Peacock gets it back.
Oh, gosh.
So it's not even as exclusive as it seems. It's just Peacock always will get, like, if they reboot Shrek or make more Minions movies or more Fast and Furious or Jurassic World or whatever.
Well, they are saying it's Jurassic World Dominion. There's a Jordan Peele one. There's another Minions.
Wait, Jurassic World Dominion? Is that a Jurassic World Minion crossover?
No, Jurassic World Dominion.
Dominion. Yeah, Dominion.
Okay. It's the Minions.
It's the rapping Minion, and he's in the Jurassic World with the dinosaurs,
no, that's
obviously.
Supposed to come out next year from Universal, so that could include some of those. So do they charge money then for? Do they charge like Disney?
I think they do charge.
For the early access?
For their certain shows, anything that is original to Peacock, where it's actually only on the streaming, they only make it for the streaming service, that you have to pay for. And then if you want to avoid ads during the Munsters and stuff like that, you have to pay for Peacock. And I'm sure to get these movies, definitely without ads, you're going to have to pay also.
You'd have to have all that.
So not as exciting as they want you to think it is.
And it's not anything till next year.
Right.
So
it doesn't start till 2022.
Don't need to pay for Peacock until then.
But maybe when they reboot the Munsters, though, I'll have to consider it.
You'll be the only person paying for that. The only person.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
We've got new coffee.
Oh, guys, wait. Can you smell it? I don't know how to get it to you.
The smell of the beans. You smell the cinnamon and anise that's in this new coffee.
We decided because we were out, and so we needed to go what was our next step in the coffee world? Mm-hmm. And we have 10 pounds to go through of this New Mexico coffee that we absolutely love.
Yeah.
It's less acidic and it's smoother.
We need to get a what? Do you remember the name of the person? Because this New Mexico coffee that we found out about, it's called Pinon. It's pine nut coffee. It's coffee, but it also is cut with pine nuts.
Okay, well, that's it's a unique term to use for that, but it's true. It's true.
It's cut with the pine nuts and roasted with the pine nuts, and then
it's not cut with concrete. It's cut with this.
And it's really good, or at least what we've had before is really good, and it was sent in by a listener from New Mexico.
Yeah, we've had a lot of listeners send in this. They'll send in different blends, and usually at Christmas time they'll do the variety sampler pack
with pistachio and peppermint mocha and whatever. But do we know who sent it in originally?
I don't know their names.
Got us hooked on it?
No.
We should send them a thank you card.
Because we ordered it on our own.
Right. They hooked us on it, and now we have 10 pounds. So this is our first chance testing out this new flavor.
Good. It's so good. I tried it without creamer. Mm-hmm. I liked it then, but then I added some of that sweet cream, and it's sweet.
I'll tell you what made me nervous.
What?
When I saw, like you said, it's like biscotti or something, and it's the
New Mexico steak cookie.
And so we just ordered it. And then when I saw it this morning, it's not biscotti, which is fine, but it's called bisaquito or something like that. I don't have it in front of me. But then I looked at the bag. It said cinnamon and anise.
Yeah.
And anise is from licor, or it's what gives you the licorice flavor. So I can't imagine I would actually like the cookies because I hate licorice.
Sure.
I hate anise. But so I was worried. That's why I started planting the seeds of doubt of what if the coffee's not good? What if I can't drink 5 pounds of coffee with anise mixed in? But I've tried it and it is good. It is really nice. It works well in the coffee. Not as well any other place.
Well, we have the next one to try will be maple walnut, so maybe we'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, and on that one will be fine.
Guys, make sure to listen tomorrow to see if we like the maple walnut. I wonder.
Ooh, the suspense. If they can make a coffee with anise in it and it's good, they can do anything. They could make a broccoli coffee and it would probably be fine.
Well, if you guys have any other coffee suggestions, we will just throw it on our Google Docs so that way we can keep track and we'll
buy it about 3 years from now when we finally get through these 10 pounds.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you set a Google thing and just put the point of now, and that way we can tell how long it takes us to go through 10 pounds of coffee.
Then we'll know how much we should order per month or whatever going forward.
Thankfully, they were on sale.
Yeah.
And it was a good shipping deal.
Yep.
But we might have to have the coffee party where everybody comes in and drinks a cup because we can't get through it all.
Well, I think everybody would be into that.
I think so. You drive by the front of RadioU, we hand you a coffee cup full of this one, and we'll be done before we know
And you're good to go.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on RadioU.
Well, you're walking around the farm naked, and you think you can just get away with it?
What?
You're walking around the farm naked.
Why are you naked on the farm?
You just took a shower?
Well, no, then that's when you put the clothes back on. And you don't feel ashamed about the clothes.
Keep in mind, this is in, Singapore. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's hot. I don't know what the weather is like in Singapore. It's hot.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
This is a fishing farm.
Yeah.
So we're catching fish, and you're walking around naked. And then all of a sudden, you get hit in the head with a mallet. for walking around naked.
That was the punishment?
That's the punishment. That is what happened. This is, again, in Singapore. A man was, I'm not going to try to even do the names here, but a 35-year-old man, he's been jailed for a year and a month.
Oh, he was the one who hit the guy?
He pleaded guilty to the count of voluntarily causing hurt with a dangerous weapon. I feel like that's been translated because that doesn't say causing hurt.
It works.
Hey,
I think we know.
We've all caused hurt, haven't we?
But not with a mallet.
We should all hope that we don't spend a year and a month in jail for causing hurt,
So
or else we'd all be there.
This happened a few months ago, but the guy was walking around naked at the fish farm. Never thought we'd say that.
Yeah, naked at the fish farm. Apparently, this was a issue that had happened a few times before.
And he was told not to walk around naked.
Yeah, and eventually, these two guys working on this fish farm together, the one of them walking around naked, just letting it all hang out. Eventually, it came to a head when, of course, the aggressor in this situation, and by that I mean the aggressor as in the mallet hitter.
That mallet guy, okay.
I guess the walking around naked could be considered aggressive.
He was told not to.
Yeah, but he was warned not to. Then the aggressor had been drinking some rice wine, and it was getting close to 10 o'clock at night, which some people might say is late. The sun is going down. And
he hit him with a mallet.
And he decides that once he has enough rice wine in him, that, you know what, I've had enough of his walking around naked, and I'm going to do something about it once and for all.
Jeez.
And he takes the fish mallet that is used to kill the fish.
Oh, and he hits him with it.
And he hits him in the head with it. Now, fortunately, we can talk about this because the naked man is okay. I mean, he suffered some injuries, a sinus bone fracture and a laceration, but he is all right. He is recovering, but for the mallet man, he has been sentenced to a year and a month in jail for his crimes. But he could have had other situations. He could have been fined. He could have been jailed up to 7 years, or he could have been caned, or any combination of those punishments. So
no, thank you.
I feel like he got off pretty easy, actually.
And you guys can't see this, but the article is just so differently written because there's so many specific details. Like he took a shower at 6 p.m. At 9:40, he was intoxicated. The other guy was. You're like, wow, it is just so many details.
It's like a police report or something.
Like his blood sample was analyzed to have 48 milligrams of ethanol per 100 milliliters of blood.
It means he was drunk.
Yes, exactly. I mean, like, wow, they put a lot of this stuff in there.
For voluntarily causing hurt with a dangerous weapon.
Well, that's why this show's here, right, Hudson? Then next time you feel like, I'm going to go to the farm and I'll be naked.
Yeah.
Remember,
I'll make sure I'm alone and no mallets are around.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
A man in Vienna, Austria was bitten by his neighbor's escaped python while sitting on the toilet.
Must be the worst time because you're like, what happened?
You're sitting there. It's just your alone time,
It's your private time.
You're relaxing.
Hudson, you finally got a moment to sit down in the quiet.
Sit down in the quiet. I'm watching TikToks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, that's your quiet.
that's your escape.
It's just noisy.
I know a few people that would go to the bathroom with no phone, no magazine, no nothing.
Oh, well, okay, guess what would they do? They just go to the bathroom and then get up?
Yeah, but
so they would just be in there for the bathroom only time and not like that's like everybody.
Maybe they just sit in there and think.
Oh, maybe.
Or just, I don't know. Like maybe they really have to focus. Maybe that's.
I envision I don't see a lot of, at least where we work, like people aren't doing the smoke breaks. So it's not like anybody's outside just smoking. I just envision everybody's just taking extra long bathroom breaks. And that's like the equivalent nowadays to probably what it must have been like when there was more smoking stuff.
Yeah, you need just some time to recoup during your day. Well, this guy was not so lucky in Vienna, Austria, where he, what story is there to tell? He is in the city. Actually, he's not in Vienna. He is in the city of Graz. And
65 years old.
65 years old. He's sitting on the toilet shortly after 6 a.m. He says he felt a pinch in his nether regions.
I see.
And that's never a good thing. Never good. And he turned around 6 a.m. to find an albino reticulated python in the toilet bowl.
Oh.
So I guess he had to call the police. And man, it was about 5 feet long. No. 5 feet long. They say it can get up to 29 feet long. So I guess he got lucky. If it was 29 feet, he would have been swallowed whole. Well, he wouldn't have even gotten to finish.
It seems like it escaped from a neighbor's apartment who has a collection of non-poisonous snakes, but that the neighbor could get in trouble because he wasn't, monitoring it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to know that things can come up through the toilets. I don't want to know that.
But that's what I'm wondering is, did it come, if it's his neighbor's escaped python, did it escape into the sewer and then go up into his toilet? Or did it escape and somehow got into his apartment, went into the toilet, and this guy didn't look before he sat?
Well, I thought maybe it went to the neighbor's toilet, went in the water there, and then would it come up the other toilet?
I don't know. That's an adventure. He thought it was his home toilet. He's like, you know what? I think I'm ready to go back home, but he wound up in the wrong toilet.
This was his vacation. This is how they travel. I mean, does anybody know for plumbing? Like, is that probably what happens?
Pythons just go toilet to toilet?
Could be. And should we always keep the toilet lid closed? Or better yet, don't have a python.
Just look before you say. I feel that my envisioning of it is that it crawled into his toilet from being elsewhere in his apartment, and then
worse.
He didn't look. So, I mean, the python was the worst, bad case scenario, but I mean, if anything, he could have just missed, not seen. Somebody could have left the seat up, and if he might have just fallen right in also. So you gotta take an inspection of the area before you commit to using the toilet.
So emergency services removed the snake from the toilet, cleaned it, returned the snake to the owner, and the victim was in the hospital just for minor injuries. And Matt had a good point. He said if it was an albino snake, it probably would have been harder to see in the white toilet bowl.
That's a good point.
You wouldn't have noticed it.
So now we have to get colorful toilets so that things don't blend in.
Like when you take a road trip and stuff, I'm always like, I'll hold it. I'm not going to the bathroom. I'll just wait. Now you can't even go at your own house.
No, you don't. You don't know what'll show up there.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki. Oh my God, no way! On RadioU.
No way, no way!
Well, we just talked about a snake getting into your toilet. That would be considered a pest, right?
I think so.
So what we have here is a list of how to humanely deal with pests, although I don't see snakes on the list.
Oh, I thought you meant like the neighbor guy. Like people bugging you, but you mean actual mice and stuff.
Yeah, if you've got any infestation, mice, wasps, ants, cockroaches, this is a list of how to...
This one says foxes?
Yeah, I guess. It is from the UK, The Guardian, so maybe it's... Maybe that's a problem in the UK. I think foxes are cute.
I know. I wouldn't want to. This is such a long list that you'd have to bookmark this. So then,
refer back to it.
Yeah, if you came up to to something, you'd have to go back to this list to see. Well, wait, how am I supposed to get rid of this thing?
Well, I haven't gone through the whole list on my own time yet.
Yeah,
but I went through a couple for the mice/rats and for the ants. All of the information seems to generally be, if you want to be humane, in other words, like you don't want to just kill all the mice. It does say don't give the mice poison because, first of all, rat poison will actually attract the mice at first because it's meant to. And then what they will often do is only eat a small bit of it to see if it's safe.
Oh, so it won't even.
Yeah, so it won't kill them instantly anyways. And then it says they can build up a tolerance to it. So you're kind of wasting your time, and it's still. I mean,
it's gonna just make them mad,
right? Yeah, and they're gonna tell their friends, and then they're
gonna come and eat you.
Yeah, and there's more mice than there are people. I'm pretty sure. So they might.
I don't want to mess them up.
So what they say, really, and this is actually entirely not helpful for when I experienced a mice infestation. is they just want you to really seal everything up so that there's nowhere small enough or everything is too small for your mice or your ants, wherever they're getting in. It says to just seal that off. But if you live in an apartment, like if you're not in charge of the whole building,
you got to call your person.
Good luck. And you know what they're going to say? No. In my case, at least.
Say, we'll take care of it, sure.
No, yeah, they'll say, I literally had a mouse in, it wasn't a ton, but I had a repeated mouse problem at one apartment I lived at. And every time I went to talk to them, they would just come by and they'd put the sticky mouse traps, which don't even kill the mice. It just traps them.
Then did you have to be
And then I had to go get rid of them whenever I found one there.
Well, how do you get rid of it?
And then I went back and I was like, hey, I caught a few mice and got rid of them and they're still a problem. And so they didn't even come put the traps for me. Then they're just like, here's more. They said, let us know if you need any more.
Well, Hudson, I mean, they are doing their part. They say that, like, if you have mice or not necessarily with rats, but mostly mice, they say that some people, it's confusing. They say you have to take them at least 2 miles away. Like, I'm taking them on a car ride.
Yeah.
You're taking them on a trip.
You put it in a garbage bag. You tie up their hands and put a blindfold on.
But they say you're supposed to keep them alive and then take them 2 miles away to stop them from returning.
Yeah.
But they say that then people that are like super sensitive about it say if you take a mouse more than if you take it that far away, it'll die because it's not near its like support system.
Okay.
I don't know what to do.
Well, we all need support system.
So that's why you're getting the sticky tape to kill them.
I don't know that they gave me the sticky the pads to catch the mice, but the mice don't die on that. At least not. I mean, it takes them a while. They would have to starve or whatever.
Well, this is what.
But then, what are you supposed to? How are you supposed to get them off of the stickies? Because I tried actually. I just tried to set it free in the dumpster because I didn't know the 2 mile thing. So I tried to set it free in the dumpster, and it's so sticky it can't come off. But I'm not going to touch the mouse.
Well, I think they want you to.
No, I'm not going to.
Or do they just expect it to die on it? Oh, this is sad.
I don't know. So
I'll take it on a car ride then.
Like some people out there are like, "What? I'll just get the mouse traps that kill them instantly or whatever." And it's like, can't we have a little humanity here?
I don't know if it's possible.
But I don't feel that the sticky, letting them die of starvation on the sticky pad
is going to help.
In the dumpster is a lot better.
Well, I am looking at the rest of the list. Like mice aside, they're like wasps. I can't save a wasp. You can't. It's going to have to. It's going to have to go to heaven.
First, consider the possibility of doing nothing. No, I'm not going to do that. Because you consider the possibility of me getting stung by a wasp or a horde of wasps.
Oh, they say fleas, there's flies, other insects. Oh, I don't even need to read the rest. We can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be kind about it. You don't have to be like, ha-ha, as you kill it, but I don't know what else to do.
What they've got for flies. There has to be a certain point. I know I do care about animals. And I don't see that, I don't want to hurt bugs.
Sure.
I try not to kill them if I can. If I ever see a spider in my house, I do everything I can to just get a cup and set it free outside.
Yeah.
But man, there's only so much we can do.
Well, I love everybody thinks you have a mouse problem. You did.
I don't anymore. I don't live in the same place.
This is just an article about it.
Eventually, maybe the mouses just got tired. The mice just got tired of getting stuck to the thing because they did eventually stop coming.
Oh, they didn't like you anymore.
Yeah, but it was not a fun few weeks when that was going on, or few months, or whatever it was. But I survived.
You did.
Unlike the mice.
People who are the best get awards. People who are the worst get their own podcast. The Worst of the Riot.
Have you seen the TikTok trend of sticking a clove of garlic up each nostril?
I want to do that.
You do?
I do because, like when you see things, basically TikTok is like the new YouTube when the new YouTube was like when you Googled health things.
Yeah.
So whenever I see it, it feels like you can't fake this one. Because
what do you mean?
Well, like when you see some things on TikTok, it's not like really how it is.
Yeah.
And they fake the results of it.
Or there's like these things that are supposed to be life hacks and you can tell that they're clearly not.
And like people want to debunk it and stuff.
Yeah. Or it's just plainly ridiculous and it almost seems like it's just on there to make you mad. Like back when that woman was it might not have even been on TikTok, but the woman that was preparing for the spaghetti dinner where she spread spaghetti all over her countertop, just straight on the countertop, then spread the sauce all over it and then grouped it all up and then put it into the to the pot afterwards to serve.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was horrifying. And that's not actually a life hack, but it was being supported like that. And it's just like, are you actually seriously saying this? Or are you just doing this to get attention?
But this one seems real because you shove garlic like is it a bulb or a
clove?
A clove of garlic
yes.
up each of your nostrils. Yep. And then you're supposed to wait, I don't know, maybe like 15, 30 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And the snot that comes out of your nose is amazing. And they say, especially if you suffer with allergies.
Yep.
So I always wanted to try it because my allergies are always bugging me.
Yeah.
But I haven't done that yet.
It's supposed, according to TikTok, it's supposed to clear out your sinuses. And also, it gives you a nice mustache look, kind of. You look like you're an Italian pizza chef in a way.
Because you have garlic cloves coming out your nose?
Yeah, but...
so are you not supposed to do it or what?
Yeah, Nikki, doctors say don't.
Oh, it's fine. Doctors, you weren't fixing it anyways.
There are perfectly reasonable remedies to fixing your stuffy sinuses, and this isn't one of them.
No, because everything else they say doesn't work or also has a problem with it too.
What's wrong with the neti pot?
Oh, they say, remember, if you do a certain type of water, it could have that brain-eating thing, and then it can go up in your brain.
Uh-huh. So that's out.
So there's a problem. I think that every time I would rinse my nose.
What are the odds?
What's the odds? What's the problem with the garlic, though?
They say, first of all, sticking anything up your nose is not recommended for the obvious. This is a doctor quoted here. For the obvious fact that it could get dislodged or lodged up into the nasal cavity.
I'm not a kid.
And I can vouch for that. It hasn't happened to me, but it did happen to my brother when we were children.
Oh, he stuck something up his nose?
He did, and we had to walk a couple miles to the doctor because we only had one car and my dad had the car at work.
Yeah.
And this was my mom was pregnant with another of my siblings, so we had to walk, the three of us, my pregnant mother, my little brother, and I, walked to the doctor so he could get this thing taken out of his nose.
So they say, you could have a nasal obstruction, a bacterial infection, rashes or blistering like in your nose. Mm-hmm. Oh, I think I still want to try it.
All right. I want to see you do it.
5 to 15 minutes, and then you pull the garlic out, and then all that stuff comes out of your nose.
What if you what if there's just a better way to do it that's not a clove? What if you have garlic oil or something like that?
Well, no. I think, though, if you've seen the TikToks with the garlic up the nose, these are really big pieces of garlic. Yeah. I couldn't get that up my nose. Like, it won't go all the way up if you try.
No, I think your nose is big enough.
Well, now... Well, thank you, Hudson.
I'm just kidding.
I thought it was always perfectly proportioned. It was not too big, not too small, just right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no, that's fine. I mean, I'm glad to know these things.
Maybe if you stretch it out.
No, push it in.
See, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it because the doctors didn't say this, but you don't want to stretch out your nose and make it bigger. No. You wouldn't want that.
No.
You want to keep it nice and dainty. Just nice and dainty, an appropriate size for your face. And
next you'll be like, your big face. Michael, Hudson said my nose is big.
Hudson, Nikki, the Riot, RadioU.
My life has been changed for the better here.
But not mine. Why not me? Well, first, we were talking about TikTok trends, sticking the garlic cloves up your nose, which I would try with you guys, but then you'd see all my snot, and I don't know if that's okay. I don't know if we can do that.
Well, it's medical. It's not your fault that you have snot.
Well, allergies, but
and after the garlic, you won't anymore.
But I feel like that might be too personal. But then we were talking about with TikTok. You just were over there, and you were like, hey, you figured out how to do something.
I just found an article. It was literally published 49 minutes ago.
Yeah.
How to fast forward through a TikTok video. Now, on TikTok, I've seen claims that you can do this, and then it always turns out that it's a little trick to get you to love the video or interact with it some way.
Yeah.
And it's never actually anything that shows you how to fast forward. I just thought, TikTok probably doesn't have a fast forward option because the videos up until recently were only up to a minute long. You don't really need to fast forward, Hudson.
If you don't need to, but now
if you can't keep your attention for the whole minute, then just skip it. You don't need to see the end.
But now everybody has the option. It used to be just some, but now everybody can do 3-minute videos. And if you're like, what's 3 minutes? It's no big deal. In TikTok world, some of these get really long.
Yeah, anything over 10 seconds feels like an eternity, especially when it's like wait till the end and nothing is happening and you want to wait till the end. Well, you don't want to have to wait till the end. You want to skip to the end.
You're using your Android phone and you can, but I can't. Why won't it work on my iPhone?
So it's not purportedly. I just did it on my phone with several videos. Now, not every video on your TikTok will have it, but what you will look for is at the bottom of the screen above the buttons for home and search and post and whatever, your profile. Above that row of buttons, you will see a white line, a thin white line that is your progress bar for the video. I'm
touching it.
If you hold down your finger on that bar, then it will pop up. It'll show you the length of the video. It'll show you where you are in the video, and you can scrub that to where you want it in the video.
See, when I do it, it just says, oh, you want to forward it on to somebody or send it. Like, it doesn't give me anything with the dumb line.
Here.
Why?
Have I showed you? I showed you myself doing it, right?
Yeah, I think you did. I thought you did.
Let's see. Let me turn off the sound because you never know what might wind up on your TikTok.
I should be able to touch the line. I should think I'd be able to get this. And my app is updated.
Look. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to see. Let's see. Look how easy it is.
Why are you doing that, but I can't?
I don't know.
No, I can't.
Are you sure your fingers aren't too big?
Again, this is two things in a row where we said that, and I think that is hurtful. Anybody else have an iPhone and want to try it?
I think I tried it on your phone, right, a few seconds ago.
And you couldn't even do it.
I couldn't do it either, but I thought maybe your phone wasn't updated yet.
It is. It has the most updated one.
Well, I guess I'm just a little more special than you.
Well, fine. No comment.
Maybe I use TikTok. Maybe I'm a power user.
I don't know what's wrong with my finger.
pretty positive you use TikTok more than me, so I don't think that's it either. I guess I'm just lucky.
Well, if you have any success and you're an iPhone user, can you please let me know? And if you're available, like the studio, like if you're close by, do you want to just stop by and show me
Nikki
how you're doing
There's nothing else to show. You just put your finger on the bar.
I know, but I can't. I can't get it to work. And then, of course, don't forget to follow RadioU Official on TikTok.
Yep.
We would appreciate that. And then you can check out more RIOT stuff there and some fun videos.
And watch it all in full.
Yeah, don't you dare fast forward any of our stuff.
No. Well,
I don't even think we're given the option.
It's interesting the entire way through, for sure. So check that out at RadioU Official. And sorry, Nikki.
I didn't want to anyways.
I wish I could help you. I thought I was helping you, and now turns out I'm just frustrating you.
I'll get it.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.